Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Firearms of America, and today we are doing another review of a tactical boot. Well, actually, we're trying to find the ultimate survival boot. So that's why this review is going to be a little bit demanding on the product. It's just because we want to find something that is absolutely ultimate for your survival. If that was your last boot that you would put on before you leave the house, run away from your house, run away somewhere, or really whatever, you go on a very long journey towards your destination to escape from danger or something like that, which boot would that be? So today we have this Under Armour, stellar military and tactical boot. Of course, you know, my preference goes to military tactical boots and the hiking boots because, you know, they have those criterias that would be good fit for the survival situation. Now, speaking of criterias, I do have a special 8 different criterias that I will be making the judgment by. Let me quickly introduce them. So the very first one is walking, running, length, comfort. So how long can you run in them? How comfortable is it walking in them for a very long time? Now, I have already done my test. I did the 5-mile run and no, actually, sorry, I'm not such a great runner. 5-mile walk and a 3-mile run. All right, in these. And yeah, we're gonna talk about that. And then the number 2 is stuff proof. How many different things is this boot proof? Waterproof, radiation proof, whatever. You get the point. The third one is obviously gonna be the quality of the build, how well everything is put together. Number 4 is going to be the sole grip, slip resistance. Obviously, you know, we want something that is ultimate, that is applicable in different situations, you know, not just being at work, you know, slippery tile, but also something that is just as good on wet grass or, you know, concrete, rocky road, really whatever it is. Number 5 is going to be temperature. Are you too hot, too cold in these boots? How does it feel? Number 6 is how long will they last you? Number 7 is going to be balance of application, which means, is this really an ultimate boot? Is it really good in many different applications? Or is just, you know, for something, for one specific purpose? And of course, number 8, least important, the price. Why least important? Because if this is your ultimate boot, you want something as amazing as it could be, you know, so it's really not big deal if it's, you know, a little bit more expensive because you want your survival gear to be the best you can get. All right, so let's get straight into it. Let's start with walking, running, length, comfort. Now, walking in this boot is very comfortable. They are very comfortable. You can tell that they're built very nicely. Honestly, I was surprised that Under Armour makes boots. It was a shocker whenever I saw this one. Honestly, if they were making boots, I would think they would be more like a sneaker type of looking. No, but this one is really straight up tactical looking, comparable to boots from Bates, for example, or Smith & Wesson, or 501. So, whenever it comes to walking, like I said, 5 miles walk in this was a breeze. They are very comfortable. Whenever you walk, they are light, so it's not that bad. Now, whenever it comes to running, things a little bit change because the bottom sole is, as you can see, it is pretty rough. It is, you know, it's a very tough rubber that is on the bottom sole. Now, obviously, running in these it becomes much harder. Why? Because whenever you run, that's where that foot arch, whatever, is playing an important part because you want to be running on your tippy toes, not the tippy toes, but, you know, the front side of your foot, and, you know, without having too much of an impact on your heel. And here you have a lot of impact on your heel, so you do get tired pretty quickly, your feet start hurting pretty quickly, and your knees is the same thing. My knees started hurting by the end of the run. So the 3-mile run was really tough in these boots. Now, I know that people say that eventually this part breaks down. Okay, maybe. Again, this is really up to you to figure it out, to find out. Honestly, I prefer something that works perfectly right out of the box without waiting for something to break down and, adjust. Nevertheless, wearing them is very comfortable. Walking in them is very comfortable. You do feel a little bit of the pressure on your ankle, on the side, whenever you're walking because of this tight construction, I guess. But it does sort of help because it doesn't slide around. And I did have boots where you're walking and this part, the ankle support, whatever this part is called, it rubs against your ankle just because it's so loose. Here, this is not the case. Okay, so let's get into the next criteria. The next criteria is the stuff proof. Now, how many things is it proof? The description of the boot doesn't mention anything regarding, it's regarding being the waterproof or radiation proof or anything like that. So I would assume that they are not waterproof. So keep that in mind. Now, again, whenever it comes to survival situation, obviously we would want to have something that is waterproof at least. So this is a little bit of a negative aspect whenever it comes to these boots. Okay, number 3, quality. Quality, if you have anything from Under Armour, you know that their quality is great. Their quality control is really good. I never had any problems with Under Armour, and I do have sneakers from Under Armour. Actually, I had 2 sneakers, and clothing, I really love Under Armour shirts. In fact, this is the Under Armour shirt. So I do like the brand. I do like the stuff that they make. And you can tell that the quality here, quality of the build is really nice. And honestly, as you can see, they're not really hooks, but there are these plastic, whatever you want to call them, fine, let's call them hooks, the strings that the shoelace goes through. And if it was anything probably other than Under Armour, I would worry about them breaking apart because the way they are attached here. But because it's Under Armour, I really don't worry about that. Okay, so let's get into the sole grip slip resistance. Okay, so looks like it is more. They did a pretty interesting job here, okay? They did a pretty interesting job. This surface tells me that they are designed to be slip resistance on the things like tile and the oily type of greasy surfaces, kind of like, McDonald's floor, for example. I did test them on the tile and they are very grippy on the tile. It's pretty cool. But there's also this side which is a little bit of a different, and looks like that would be very nice on stuff like sand, rocky road, wet grass. So they did a pretty good job making this ultimate sort of bottom sole for grippy pretty much on really anything out there. Now it might be a little bit less grippy on outdoors terrain like the same wet grass and rocky road, mountains and stuff like that, compared to, for example, hiking boots. But keep in mind that hiking boots are not really designed to be slip resistant on like an oily tile, or walking through the sand is not very nice in walking, because the sole is much more aggressive in hiking boots. Walking in the sand, it makes it difficult because all the sand gets stuck in between those aggressive whatever serrations, whatever you want to call them, and obviously it becomes pointless and your feet become heavy. This here is not going to be the case. So pretty good job, Under Armour, pretty good job, pretty impressive to make it kind of ultimate bottom sole. All right, let's get into the temperature. Number 5 is the temperature. They do feel very warm. Running in them, I did not overheat. My feet didn't overheat, so it's really nice. Probably because they have this ventilation area or vent, air vent, whatever you call them, on the sides, and also where the ankle support is, which is very nice. And of course, if you look in the inside, you can see that they have all this vent going throughout the whole boot, which is very nice. Now, whenever it comes to the longevity, which is our next criteria, I had them for about 4 days now, and I test them for 2, so I can't really comment much on the longevity. But if you check out the link in the description below for these boots, that's them on Amazon, that's where I bought this ones from, you will find a lot of good reviews. I think it's almost 1,000 reviews now, and almost 5 stars, and everybody is really liking them. You'll find the reviews that were made by people who had this boot for for months, for years, and everybody likes it. There aren't really any serious complaints. Now, the only thing that I would complain about with these boots is the shiny surface. So shiny surface, it tends to scratch, tends to peel usually if it's not a real leather, especially if you are riding a motorcycle. You already know your left boot will be all scratched up, and I do ride a motorcycle, so it is an important factor for me. I don't like to have my left boot all scratched up and my right boot looking nice. Another thing that I would complain is the laces. Now they seem very thin. I guess it is good because they do take less space and weight less, I guess. But nevertheless, they do feel, I don't know, sort of cheap. If I end up keeping these boots, I will definitely upgrade the shoelace. Not a big fan of those. Okay, number 7. This is probably the most important one, is the balance of application. How well would they be as a survival boot? Obviously, whenever it comes to being a survival boot, the demands are, like I said in the beginning of this review, are much more than just doing a review of the product, because the product is great. Let me tell you, if you really want to buy this, tactical boots for your work, if you're a police officer or a security guard, and you're doing a lot of walking, a lot of standing, great. Very comfortable. You're gonna love them. Now, of course, in the survival situation, there's a lot of auto scope stuff. Running for 3 miles might not really be a part of your regular work routine. So of course, the demands are a little bit more. But overall, for the balance of application, out of 10, I would give these boots a solid 6. That's pretty good. I think it's pretty generous compared to a few other boots that I done review on, mainly because they are not waterproof. It's not comfortable running in them, and in the survival situation, I think that it is very important. This is something very important. Running for a very long time, or walking for a very long time, or just wearing them without taking them off. Things like that, but running being one of them. And of course, they don't really perform very well for the running situations. Okay, now the very last one is the price. Price is really good. It is surprisingly great. Honestly, Under Armour, I thought they would be at least in the 150s, but no, actually these ones are only $85, $84.99 to be specific. Now, Amazon, the way they are, it will depend on what size you pick. This is the size 10, size 10 is $85. Now, it might change a little bit here, a little bit less, a little bit more, depending on which size you pick. But I think $85 is a pretty amazing price, especially for the quality of the boot that you are getting. So, at the end of the day, if you are considering to buy these boots for anything other than your absolute survival situation, definitely get those. You're not gonna regret it. They are amazing, and for a good price, really good boots. If you are considering to buy these boots for your survival situation, then I would hold off just yet. We are still reviewing more boots, more survival boots, so I still have a few coming my way. So we're gonna be doing a review on those. We'll see how those perform, do the comparison, and then once you're informed about everything, hopefully you will be able to make that good ultimate decision for your ultimate survival. Thank you very much for watching. This was Firearms of America. Don't forget to subscribe if you found this video helpful. If you didn't find this video helpful, let me know in the comments below why, and I will improve. I listen to my viewers. Honestly, all these videos I'm doing for myself and for you guys, so you know, it's all, you know, between us. If you have a suggestion, let me know. It's nothing nothing better than constructive criticism. All right, guys. Apparently now we also have a Facebook group. It's in the description below. If you like it, that would be nice. Then we can, you know, communicate even more together. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.